Good day, everybody. I want to go over growing banana trees in the south in zone 8. There are a lot of good uses you can use for the banana tree besides them just being a beautiful, ornamental plant that you can grow. The biggest thing I use my banana trees for is the leaves. I, harvest the leaves and I cook with them. That's important to get your banana tree leaves while they're nice and healthy. Normally I start harvesting my leaves around November because that's when I usually start doing most of my outdoor cooking. I like to cook in the fall and the winter months. I just wait for a pleasant winter day, and that's when I do most of my outdoor cooking. A lot of people do it in the summertime, and I do too, but it's so hot outside, it's just more pleasing to do your outdoor cooking during the winter months. So, and that's the biggest thing I use my leaves for is when I smoke a turkey or a brisket or a Boston butter, any large piece of meat that's gonna take a lot of hours to cook. It's wonderful to wrap them in banana leaves because one, it seals all the flavor in, it keeps it moist and juicy, and then the banana trees get a meat just a wonderful color, and it just give it a wonderful flavor. So that's the biggest thing I use my trees for is the leaves. So even if you can't harvest bananas off your trees, like I said, you can use the leaves, and you can also cook the bloom. I've never cooked the blooms, but they say that they're very, delicious to eat. So I may try that one day. So I want to go over harvesting leaves today, though, and I'm gonna do another video on propagating banana trees because they're very easy to propagate. Now I did want to show a few blooms that I had that bloomed this summer. Like I said, here it is December, and you can see how small those bananas are. So the weather is going to get cold, and it's going to kill those bananas. So that's just an example. I just want to show you a few. Had one there too that bloomed. So you can't get bananas off of them, but we are going to look at a few leaves that we can still harvest. You can harvest the leaves any time of the year. I do try to get some good leaves before they shut down completely, and I just end up chopping them all the way down, and they'll grow back during the spring. But I'm gonna pick out a few good leaves. This actually is a good leaf right here. I'll cut this leaf right here off, and when they get a little age on them like this, they got a little more resilience and they're a little tougher. Some of the brand new leaves that shoot out the center, they're good leaves too. It's just they split very easily, and they just not as easy to work with. Whereas if they get a little leathery, this right here is probably a little too far gone, so I probably won't use it. But that is a good leaf right there. So I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna get this one. So, and it's gonna be a good idea to get these, before the weather gets cold and the trees get in much worse of shape. But so we're probably at the end of the season for harvesting leaves. That's an old bloom right there that didn't do anything. It can take 10 to 12 months from what I understand, for a banana to get ripe. So it just doesn't stay tropical here long enough, or warm enough here long enough to get bananas. So okay, to harvest the leaves, you're gonna need a large knife. Now this is an old machete that I have, and I use this to when we get a lot of cold weather and they just start to all go brown, I usually cut them down chest high, and I use this right here to whack them down. But I also use this to harvest the leaves. You don't really have to have a sharp knife, but you do need a large knife, and they cut real easy. You can see I harvested these right here already, but they cut very easily. Just with a little bit of force, you just want to just whack them. They should about right off. They're very easy to cut. So I'm gonna cut a few more of these leaves, and I'm gonna show you what the ones that I harvest look like that are good for cooking. Okay, this basically how you want your leaves to look. You want the front of them to look about like that. These, like I said, leaves have a little bit of maturity on them, so they're not as prone to tear. So basically you want them to look about like that. That's a perfect leaf. These right here are good as well. So you want them to have a little bit of greenness to them. I try to stay away from this real yellow color, so I probably won't harvest that part of it. But as you can see, that's the back of it, and these other ones about the same. This is a good leaf right here. You know, it's real tough, so I know it'll allow me to wrap my food without it tearing. Got some little tears, but that's okay. That's about the size that I usually keep, that I fold up and put in a Ziploc bag. So, and this is probably the best leaf out of all of them. It's, you know, nice and has a good color to it. It's got some age to it, so I know it's gonna be sturdy and stand up to me wrapping food in it. So what I'm gonna do is show you how to cut them. Okay, they're very easy to cut. What I do is just turn them over from the back, and I just, you know, start it. Just cut right on down the bottom. It's very easy. And that's it. This is all that's left. Flagpole. So just do the next one the same way. So they cut very easily. This knife is not even that sharp. Cut this last one here. And what you will be left with is these strips, you know, and what I will do is just wash these off with some cool water, and then I will just fold them 3 times. And then I'll put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'll show you, you know, some that I put in a Ziploc bag, and then put them in the refrigerator. So now it's okay if you have some that tear. See if I can, like this one. It's okay if it does that. It's still a good piece, as long as you have a large piece that's at least 8 inches long. That's gonna be great. You can still, you know, wrap a small piece of fish or chicken breast in that and use the cooking twine. But these are, as long as you have a nice large enough piece like this to, you know, you can still use that. And I'll just fold that one time and stick it right in my Ziploc bag. Okay, so once you get your leaves washed, you just fold them up and put them in a freezer bag or a storage bag. Just make sure you get all of the air out of the bag. Just, you know, squeeze all the air out. Leave a little corner open, squeeze all the air out, and then seal it up. And they will stay in your refrigerator for months at a time until you get ready to use them. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.